you'll be now at this video. So let's bring up some hands. All right, here we go. First hand on the button, Queen Jack, standard raise. You get 3-bet from the small blind, which is called. It's a really odd spot. Calling a 3-bet from position is, it's okay. It just depends. You've got a hand that flops well in your multi-way, so I can see a case for you calling here, but otherwise, in most circumstances, this is just a fold. So you lucked out and flopped the nuts, which, yay for you. Now it's time to get paid. So let's see what happens. He continuation bets, and there's really not too much outside of a 9, 10, or king that could come on the turn that would really ever scare you. So I would actually call behind and look to get it in on the turn. But you go ahead and raise here. You just shove. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a fine play. Calls, 3-way all in. And he shows ace king. And he shows jack 10. So pretty standard. See, you've got a raise, call, and you've got king jack suited in the small blind against a raise and a caller. You're out of position. This is a fold every time. You go ahead and call. You flop an overcard, a gut shot, and a flush draw, which is a pretty good flop. So you check. He shoves. If you're a gambler, go ahead, and you are, so that's fine. I don't mind it, and you hit your flush. But you had to realize you were obviously drawing, at the flop. But if you don't mind that kind of combo draw and get it in, that's fine. And I would actually have advocated if, let's say, this guy had folded, right? Raise, and that guy, let's just pretend he folded. I think a check raise here is actually great. So another pretty standard spot, but maybe not for some people. All right, 10 jack suited. Go ahead and limp behind. I would have liked to raise here. And then you get raised tremendously by the big blind. He calls. I don't like the flop, or the, I would have liked to fold here. But you go ahead and call. And again, you flop the nuts. So you're going to have to teach me and do a video of how to do this because, that's pretty awesome. C-bet. I think your standard line here is the shove. You just go ahead and raise, which is totally standard. And you just get it in. And he had 2 pairs. So unlucky him, lucky you. Nice hand. All right, 10s. Early raise is good. Get 3-bet by guy we only have 7 hands on. So, if we 4-bet here, we're pretty much committing ourselves. Not necessarily, but in most cases. I can't even really say that. Too complicated a concept right now to go into, but I don't like set mining out of position like this in a 3-bet pot. It's kind of admirable if you think this guy will fold, but he won't. So if you just want to get it in and coin flip, that's fine. So you go ahead and call, and you flop a set. Again, it looks like you're running really well. This guy, it's a check raise. He calls. Really bad card comes for you on the turn, but you go ahead and shove it anyway. He calls, and he didn't have squat, so you were really fortunate in this situation. But that's nice. 8's on the button. Standard spot to. I think Hold'em manager just freaked out. You had 8's here, so you flopped another set. And you go ahead and raise the turn it's a good card to do it just because you've got to price his draws. And he showed king, so you ran well again. Good raise. Just getting it in against this guy. Totally standard. And kings over queens is good. Good 3-bet. The size is definitely on the small side. Your 3-bet should be at least 3 times plus blinds, and then maybe one more big blind out of position. So I think there 150 is about appropriate. He goes ahead and shoves. Really weird play. He might have aces, kings, might have jacks, might have ace king. with only 18 hands, we don't really know. And in a 6-max game, I'm not folding queens at this point, so I think getting in is fine. He showed aces, unfortunately for you, but I don't mind the play there. Queens again. Good 3-bet, and you just get it in again. And unfortunately, you ran bad. So you weren't completely golden, I guess, through these 15,000 hands. Looks like you had some nice highs and some low lows. Another good raise. No one goes away. This is the part where you get scared, but now you've got an overpair and the nut flush draw, so you're just getting it in at this point. And that's exactly what you do, so you totally played it right. And so he had a set, unfortunately, but you got it in with outs, which is just totally fine. Any spade and any ace, so you had plenty of outs to justify your play there. So you flop the nuts again. The board is coordinated, and you got a flush draw out there. So, well, what happened here? You bet. You got raised, and that's fine. You got it in here, and I'm guessing it a flush draw. Or, you got a boat on you. So, totally standard spot. Don't feel bad about losing that one. Good 3-bet. He gets you all in. Very standard 6-max play is to go ahead and call this. So he shows queen, so you had a coin flip, and you just lost it. So you can definitely take back my you just run good comment if that's what you were inferring. Definitely not the case. Ace 10 here, I think is a fold. Because if you call, you're going to be playing out of position against at least one, if not 2 or 3 other players. This might be an ISO spot by him, and if he's doing this light, then you could justify a 3-bet and just take it away now. But we only have 3 hands on the guy, and you just don't want to play, ace 10's a marginal hand. You don't want to be playing it in such bad position. So you flop top pair, and you go ahead and donk. And so, you'll be playing against guys, and just donk bets always tell you the story of one or two things. Either someone's on a draw, and the other thing is that they flop top pair. And it's just always the case. So now you got 2 pair. And now you got to put on the brakes. So you flop top 2 pair, which is a great hand. But you got to think, if these are tight regs, would you be calling this? And the answer is never. If they are who they are and they're just kind of random people, it's a real tough fold here. But I would make a case for that, since it really feels like someone flopped a set of 9s or 7s, or might even had 8-jack for a straight, which is just really weird. But it just seems like a really tough spot, because I don't think this guy's going away ever. So you go ahead and get it in. He gets it in. So he actually had 86 for the smaller straight. So this guy was just drawing, which is ridiculous. So unfortunately, he just kind of came out the wrong end there. But I think that turn, it's so hard, and I probably have made the same, I guess if you want to qualify it as a mistake, I made that same mistake a ton of times, that every stakes. It's a tough one against these loose opponents that you have no reads against. It's a real tough laydown, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me there, but that's just how I feel. 4s, set mining, hit the set. That's a good raise. A good bet against the must-see bet. You just keep firing, and he check raises here. You're getting it in, and set under set is just a terrible run. Unfortunately, don't worry about losing that. Played it fine. Happens to us all. You make the call. I think that's a fold actually, but I like you betting the draw here, and you go ahead and check with your straight. So you min raise it. He min raises you back, and you just call. I think you want to be getting it in. You've got a straight and a flush draw. And so the board actually hits the 5. So I think actually you're probably just chopping this. But he had the miracle 6. So just kind of a weird hand, but tough. Overall, I think you're fine. Just pay more attention to the stats than maybe the hands, because I think they tell more of the story. But it was nice meeting you, and hopefully this video helps. Take care.